totally abandoned while going through cancer. I, 20F, was diagnosed with cancer and dealt with it for 2 to 3 years. Was originally diagnosed at 17 and went into remission at 20. I have been in remission for 6 months now. Before the cancer diagnosis, during my time in high school, something traumatic happened that shaped my view on most people. The event happened on a few times during high school, but it was very traumatic. I graduated early to escape, but even then, I had bad nightmares and would even engage in self-harm as a coping mechanism. Even contemplated ending it all because of how much it affected me. These events changed me. My family is religious, and they do not believe in therapy, and 17-year-old me could not afford therapy, so I remained untreated. I tried to maintain my sanity in the only ways I knew how, self-harm. I carried the burden and dealt with it. I left high school to start a better life in college. However, right when I left, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Prognosis was good, but I did have to get half of my thyroid removed. I did that and went on with my life. Things started looking better. I still self-harmed and had nightmares, however, it was not as big of a weight as it used to be. I reconnected with old friends, and even made new ones. I am terrible at making friends. I struggle with connecting with people on an emotional level, and what happened in high school further ostracized me from my peers. However, the few friends I had, I cherished. I even dated a guy. This guy was someone special. Our families are friends, and his siblings and I were tight growing up, so I trusted him. This is when things went to hell. We were very similar, and connected very well, which was rare for me to find a person like that. I am not autistic, but I do share a lot of characteristics from that diagnosis, so I struggled with connecting with others. I did not want to ruin his view of me, so I refused to tell him what happened in high school. However, bits and pieces would come out, and he noticed my arm. Eventually, I told him. It felt so nice to confide in someone about the trauma I endured. He accepted me, and we went on. However, the thyroid cancer that I thought was behind me reared its ugly head once again. This time more aggressive and more advanced. I did not need chemo, but did need 3 surgeries and some radiation. So I still had hair. I was so frustrated, and felt so alone. I would send update texts to some of my friends, however, they seemed disinterested, which stung, but alright. Luckily, my guy was there. It was so nice to have someone I could talk to. He was there whenever I needed him. He would listen to me if I needed to talk, and even if I just wanted to have fun/not be lonely, he was there. However, the treatment had a strong impact on my health. Severe brain fog, aches and pains, depression, nausea. These things made my mood more sour than usual. I had my guy, but my friends got irritated whenever I would bring up cancer. This is where I messed up. I was so absorbed in doctor's appointments, school, work, and dealing with side effects, I neglected my guy's needs. I started getting irritated, and would sometimes snap, and usually at him. By snap I mean crying. I am not a rageful person and usually just cry when I am mad. I would apologize, but that behavior is still unacceptable. My family was absent. I lived with them, but they did not take much interest. Part of that also because I was extremely withdrawn. I was just so stressed with my life. Not to mention, I was a 19-year-old girl trying to balance cancer, life, school, and work. It took a toll on my mental health. I was short-tempered with my family. A real pill to deal with. Part of that could have been hormonal, but a lot was just stress. I tried to be better for my guy, but I would still get emotional. Meetups with me were not as fun as they used to be. I was just very quiet a lot of the time. I should have been less rude, and I should have been better at communicating. My guy broke up with me. He said he just did not feel like dealing with me. He said people like me are hard to love. I felt bad. It stung. When he broke up with me, I realized I did not have much support anymore. This was when repressed trauma turned its ugly head. I was still feeling the effects of radiation, and was told that I might still have cancer after radiation. I would go days without eating, and lost 15 pounds in 2 months, was never overweight. My doctor told me I was underweight. Family noticed, but they have a weird obsession with weight, so they were more so delighted than concerned. I started having flashbacks again. Self-harm was what got me through that. I would go out wandering at night alone. I am not intimidating. I am small and thin. Especially after cancer, was very sickly looking. I was weak and tired from treatment and lack of sleep. Hair was brittle and skin was dry and rough from thyroid hormone imbalance. Fingers were bloody due to me biting and picking at them. I bruised easily. I looked terrible. No wonder my guy left me. I was failing school, underperforming at work, and was terrible at maintaining a social life, though nobody was interested in hanging with me anyways. I could not take care of myself. I never ate, never slept, and my home space was trashed because I could not clean. I am naturally disorganized already though. I started engaging in behavior that would hopefully be the end of me. Would go 30 miles over the speed limit, would hang around sketchy areas at night, would accidentally take too much medicine, ECT. I was in so much pain. Physical and mental. Just pain. I was then told I still had a tumor left over that was resistant to the radiation I received. So I had to go through a third surgery. Not too bad, happy that I did not have to receive any more radiation. However, and I am a bad person for saying this, I wish I got a deadly cancer, and I wish I died from it. When I entered remission, that was even harder. I did not have cancer anymore. Everyone moved on, I mean, nobody was really there to begin with, but when I would cry, family would just say, "Get over it," that was in the past. Get over it was now the new phrase being thrown at me. I tried. But the nightmares and flashbacks still were there. My confidence in the world has been shaken. I realize that just because you went through something traumatic in high school does not mean the rest of your life will be okay. I realize that, for some people, the trauma and adversity never ends. Friends have entered back in my life, however, it's not the same. It hurts that they weren't there for me when I needed them, and it hurts when they make jabs at my cancer journey, unknowing the trauma that occurred that year. I am 20. I am eating and sleeping more. I filled out a bit and my skin and hair look a bit better now that my thyroid levels have stabilized. Do not look as ill. But even though it's been 6 months, I still am messed up. School is going better, but I still struggle with staying motivated. I still have symptoms of poor thyroid levels, but that is because I do not have a thyroid anymore. My will to live is not there. I tell family and friends that I want to die and have no will to live anymore. My friends think I am joking, my parents just think I am being dramatic. I cannot afford therapy, so I am seeing a school counselor. It helps a little bit, but not much. I realize that life does not stop after a traumatic event, and the younger you experience trauma, the more trauma you will have in your life. I try to pray to God, but if He listens. I hope He is. And I hope He will forgive me for doubting Him. I hope He forgives me. Where my life will lead. I am at a point where I do not know what to do anymore. I am just so lonely and hurt. I hope God gives me a miracle, 'cause I need one. Thanks for reading. It was nice to vent. Hope you all have a good day, and count your blessings.